being late. PlayStation had issues. And I've been having a 2-day problem with doing live streams. Well, welcome to my new guest star. You want to introduce yourself?
Yeah. Hey everyone, I'm Toxic. I'm one of the guest stars for this live stream. So, Tyler, thanks for having me. Right?
Alright. I'm going to definitely mess with the music settings of this game because it's a bit too loud.
Otherwise, I'm trying to play around with the audio problem. While I'm just trying to that you can actually hear properly. Because sometimes the audio is not really good.
Sound, yeah. Sound, language, let's see, game option. Let's get this. They got the music pretty well down. They must really have music blasting in this game. It's a fighting game, so it makes sense. And normally I wouldn't lower the voice, but
Nice try. Nice try.
The audio now is a little better than before. Alright. Yep.
alright, cool. Turn. Then we got all that fixed. Hang on real quick. I'm gonna put a quick announcement actually saying, hey, we got it to fucking work. And I mean, now.
Yeah.
Alright. Finally, we got the live stream going. PlayStation had a server problem, which caused issues for doing party chat. So, I'm actually starting my usual time, which I was trying to do earlier, but okay. I guess PlayStation was going to say, fuck you, going to start at 7 like always.
Network issues. On the other side, you have Xbox that's that's just fine. You have to pay $60 for just one revision for 1 year.
That's actually 1 year for $60 isn't bad. That's one thing I did like about Xbox and PlayStation. It does it pretty much the same thing. Did a copycat. I will say they did do a copycat. Of course, I'm more of a PlayStation lover than I am an Xbox lover because I hate Xbox One when it first came out. When it first came out, I didn't like how they said, hey, you know what? Your games aren't your games, so we have the right to take it away from you anytime. Like, oh yeah, go fuck yourself.
Yeah, but on my side, I'm more of a console lover than PC. I love Xbox, PlayStation, and Sony, but I'll still when Sony did for the membership thing, also that's under the best choice. Because on PS3, you could buy online for free. Well, for 60 you have to pay.
Yep, that's why I'm saying that PlayStation kind of copycat, but I will say there is benefits for when you pay for online. It's actually you're paying for security, keeping people from hacking you. So that's the whole point of that. As for when it comes to PC, the only real reason a lot of people like PC, in my opinion, is you can mod your games. Other than that, it's overly expensive.
Yeah, exactly. It's well, you have the PS4 that's sold currently at $100, and you take a laptop or a PC, and you have to spend $2,000 just to actually have something decent.
Yeah, look at my computer. It cost me $2,600. I have issues with it.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah, it cost me $2,600. I got it specifically to develop video games. The issues I have with it are more because of browsing and doing live streams. And for some reason, it's giving me some major issues, and I've been trying to fix it, but That's center here or there. At least it does play high quality games, but like you said, you have to pay like over $2,000 plus just to have to be able to play a high quality game, or even a low quality game that you wouldn't think would need that.
Yeah. Well, I know it's like if the PS4, it already has everything like graphics card, like it's all packaged in one. And then you have the PC that's like, oh, you want something better? Well, just upgrade next. Oh, guess what? You got brand new graphics card, but you have to pay $500 just to have it. Like honestly, that's just the stupidest thing that they've could do, but it's the best way to make money.
All right. Yeah, well, that's the thing with a lot of companies. A lot of them only care about making money. Really, I don't care about making money. To me, it's about fulfilling a goal, because
Yeah.
it kind of gets monotonous. Oh yeah, you make billions of dollars. What are you gonna do with all that money? You're hoarding it to yourself. You got so much money. What are you gonna do? Oh, you could buy just about everything, right? But it kind of it makes you empty. It's like, oh, all right, I can buy this, I could buy that. My life is empty. That's why a lot of these people that are rich, they go win the they become millionaires, winning the lottery, and they all become drug addicts because they don't know what to do with themselves.
Yeah, exactly. Like in the future, I want to make like games and everything, but I don't feel like being that one game producer that just makes like a finished game, sell it on the market for like $60, and just have like to put transaction in it.
Yeah, and
If I make a game, I want to finish it. I don't care if I'm just going to delay the release date. I don't care. I'm just going to finish this game and then sell it when it's done.
exactly. Now, I want to mention this. I recently just saw a comment while I was trying to fix this whole issue on Facebook about sharing the Indiegogo link. The guy had put down, I just want to see how many people are stupid enough to try this. And the first thing I replied to him is, hope you're not assuming I'm a scam, because Indiegogo and Kickstarter, because of all the scammers that were out there, have set it up now. If you were to try to do anything like that anymore, you can actually be legal suit for more than 2 to 6 years in prison and a massive fine. Not only do you have to pay back all the money that you owe people, but an additional $2,500 to even more.
What the fuck? It's just stupid. Like, there's this service Patreon, and it's basically the same thing. You pay for your own money in order to get, like, exclusive stuff. Like, that's not scamming, because they're only getting their stuff, but some people won't, because afterwards just bring them to court for no reason, just because, oh, it's $5, because he promised me to give me, I don't know, like, 5 pictures of that one character, plus a season pass.
See, that's just the thing. There were a lot of scammers who would turn around, and this is why Kickstarter and Indiegogo started doing this now. There was a lot of scammers that people would go ahead, they'll hire actual developers to do the work for a demo piece, get people to send money for the game because it looks very interesting. Then they turn around and they run off with the money. But the thing is, now they make you put your name and ID in there, and you're pretty much going to be tracked.
Yeah, exactly. You're just gonna fuck yourself over. Like, you'll just lose all your info. You'll basically just giving them like a hall pass to just do your entire life on the internet. It's like, yeah, here's my ID, here's my ID, just take everything, I don't care. Like, this is one thing also with the internet. It's not like as safe as it was before. And it's like, it's easy to get hacked if you don't use some sort of like VPN or whatever.
Yeah, oh, shit. Uh, hello, I think you got spelled Demon. Too much fun and GA live stream. Well, thank you. I'll go get a visitor here. I got to and to talk to you. I wasn't paying attention to the chat.
Oh yeah. Well, we go see how the chat.
So far, it's just one person's joined our little group, but I got other people that mean I'm going to be joining pretty soon.
Huh.
Yeah, that guy.
Honestly, I never did like a live stream or with someone in a live stream just talking because my internet is like really shit. Also, like in Canada, since I'm in Canada, like we have the worst companies for like this area.
Well, to be honest with you, it's actually no different in America here, because believe it or not, we have. I think we have 3 major companies that all attribute internet, but not a single one of them is as powerful as the ones in Japan and India. It's all just this
Honestly, like,
marketing scam anyway.
yeah, well, yeah, that's one thing with the like what they usually do. It's basically, oh look, you get to download 250 gigabytes of just for free internet. Like you have the limited internet, and you're fine after this. But the thing is, you have to spend $89 per month. But if you go on the limit, oh look at that, you have to spend 120 or something like that.
All right, dude. Good night. Yeah. Sorry, this guy just texted me, so I'm replying to that. And yeah, actually, I learned in school because I was in web development that, believe it or not, you can actually get internet for free. There's a way to do it. I honestly didn't learn. I didn't learn how to. But you can get internet for free and actually get more powerful internet than Time Warner Cable or now Spectrum gives out. AT&T, all that stuff. Their internet can be like complete shit. And I knew a guy that used to turn around and get free internet all the time. All he did is go to the electric box, hook his computer up to it, and boom, he had internet.
The fuck? Oh my god, this is fucking broken. That's what fucking hacked their internet.
He didn't actually hack any internet, though. All he did is get in the line and, well, I guess you can say he technically hacked it, but it's not. Yeah. It's actually not illegal. Internet's not owned by anybody. That's the funny part about it all.
Huh. The more you know.
Mm-hmm. Well, do you have any questions about the HighSchool DxD video game?
Yeah, actually I do. So, like, you know, on Indiegogo, you just, you say you have your own customized character, but will this be also like a feature that you don't have to pay when it before it goes out?
Alright, how that works is pretty much, it's just an extra little feature that goes for those that are backers. When the game comes in, you just have extra little NPCs, and what will end up happening is those NPCs will be used for like side quests or background characters. Like, say if you're going to a crowd, the NPCs will eventually change into different NPCs, and you get to see your own NPC with the name you gave them. Now,
okay.
Now, say if you wanted to make your own NPC, though, for say your family group, like Reese's group or anything like that, for multiplayer mode, you still can do that, so you don't have to be forced to play with other players. Multiplayer mode is set up so you can play with other players or go against other players, but you can also have your own group you can make yourself. And yes, you can romance your own NPCs that you create.
Huh. So it's basically like an MMORPG, sort of like World of Warcraft, but like anime style, kind of, right?
Yeah, it's closer to Final Fantasy XIV setup where you can make your own butlers. If you ever seen that little setup, it's a lot closer to that.
Okay, so you've taken some ideas from Final Fantasy XIV.
Mm-hmm. It is technically an MMO because it's large scale, it's multiplayer, and you can do you can do side quests. There is story. There is a story mode for the MMO, the MMO, a multiplayer side of the game. I only added in the multiplayer side really because a lot of people wanted to play completely as their own Z, as male and female. And the way it's set up is you are replacing Issei. You are either can play as Issei or completely reforge him, kind of like Sword Art Online. Because that's what you're doing. You're replacing the character. Originally, I also wanted to add this little feature in, but I don't think I can really add it in with the current budget in the game, and I might have to cut it out. I wanted to do this with the voice acting, and say you type down your name. Well, just like Fallout 4, where they have that little robot that says everything you type down, well, the characters do the same thing. That's what I wanted to do with every single character. I was going to add an additional budget and have it where there'll be a set names, and if it name doesn't register, all they're going to call you is Red Dragon or Red Dragon Emperor. They'll call you that if it doesn't register in the thing. That's originally what I wanted to do. I did that to have more of a roleplay feel in the game. That's what I wanted, at least. And I hate reading, so I was like, well, I'm not going to make you have to read your own fucking shit.
Yeah. Well, like, you talk about, like, having a game budget, like, so what was, like, your, the game budget that you had before starting the game?
It was out of my own income. I get from disability because of my eyes. I have one blind eye and one right eye is going blind. So I get disability. I get $800 a month. I take more than half of that and I hire my developers with that money. That's what I've been doing so far. I even turned around and took a $2,500 loan in order to increase for beta 0.1. However, I ran out of money quicker than I anticipated, so it kind of so now I'm going to Indiegogo faster than I wanted to. I originally wanted to wait until after 0.2 to release the Indiegogo or even Kickstarter.
Okay.
Sorry, I kind of just rambled there.
No, that's fine. So, like, let's say if you were to be just two-person, just making your own game, like, you would have to care about the game budget, right?
If you're your own person and you're making your own game, you would have to care about the game budget depending on your limitations. So if you're limited, you can either you have two options. You can go on say like Game Jolt or Unreal Engine or Unity's little community, and you can post for requests to have extra developers to come in. Some developers might even come in for free just because they're trying to get their name out there. Because a lot of developers do that. Now, if you're doing what I did, I hired a team. I turned around and I went to Fiverr.com because the other way was just not working for me. So I went to Upwork, but they were just, it's a pay per hour kind of deal, and I couldn't afford that. So I went over to Fiverr, and I managed to find several of developers, which was great. And they were all easy to work with. Like, I have a developer. Yep, go ahead.
So basically it's easier to, like, make a game with multiple developers and, like, actually having a team that's just doing it by yourself.
It is a lot easier to have a team with you than doing it by yourself. But it all depends on your own limitations. I see most limitations I have is writing stories and maybe some programming skills I got from playing around with RPG Maker.
Okay.
I'm more of a manager type deal, to be honest.
Okay. So basically, like, when you make a game, you have to know what you're good at and, like, what are your what's good skills.
Yeah, what's your strengths and weaknesses? Say if you're good at art and drawing, you'll probably be a concept artist or a model developer. If you're good at programming, then you're going to obviously be the guy putting all the programmings in the game and all the plugins. Which plugins are how you do the... It's just little programs that tell the game what to do.
Okay. Because so far on my side right now, all I have to do 1 full year of learning high math from Simple to Simplify. Then after you go into your programming for computer programming.
Yeah, actually, I've tried to sign up for DeVry University because they do have a game development program. Well, at least they claim they do on their commercials.
Okay.
I tried signing up for them, and all they really told me is they had web development, and they said, "Oh yeah, we can help you with this," and they charging me $70,000 per semester, and I was like, "Oh, well, hey,
Jesus Christ."
Yeah, it's like, well, you know, like, well, yeah, you can just earn that money back afterwards. Like, how do you expect me to earn that money? You think I'm gonna get a job just like that?
Oh my God. Well, you know, on my side, because since, well, I'm in Canada, so it's more like in Quebec. So just we have elementary schools, high school, and after CGEP, and after university. So basically, CGEP is more like a year to like get ready for like maybe getting a job or something like that.
But yeah, a lot of them do have internships where they can help you get a job.
Oh, well, I mean, when you go to like for school, it's basically just to like get yourself prepared for like your future. But when it comes to like since I want to be a game developer, sometimes I try to find like sources of like videos and like watch stuff like that, so I can like learn about the job, like this big lifestyle of someone that makes a game.
All right, to be honest with you, it used to be that you had to go to college to become a game developer. Now that's kind of changing because a lot of companies are going off the market, off from college, and hiring people that are pretty much developing things on their own, like those people you find on YouTube that are just developing games and showing how Unreal Engine works or Unity or anything like that. They're finding these same people and they're hiring them because they're cheaper.
Okay.
So that's what, like Fiverr. And when I went to Fiverr, I just did what a lot of big companies do. Yeah, I outsource. A lot of these people I hire are all from different countries. And a lot of times you will find it cheaper to hire someone from a different country than you will from your own.
Okay. Well, maybe basically like the like you take the Canadian money and like they convert to American. I think it's cheaper. Or it's like
right now Canadian money is worth more than ours. Like say $10 is like $20. 10 Canadian dollars would be like 20 American dollars right now. However, that exchange doesn't quite work the way you would think. Like, look for instance, it costs 2 million yen to develop your own anime in Japan. But if you took 2 million US dollars, which is still more than which is still a lot more than the yen, and then turn around and go, okay, I'll give you that. How many episodes I get? Oh, you still get 12. Well, you get the same either way. Well, what's the difference? You really don't get much of a difference in exchange.
Yeah, exactly. Because of the conversion and like how it changed like over the years.
Actually, believe it or not, you get charged more because of conversion. I hired people online and I got in charge an extra $6 just because of converting the money.
Okay. Shit. So basically, sometimes when you like just pay the developers, sometimes you go over the budget.
Well, you gotta really pay attention and know what the conversion rate would be. Like if I were to pay in the euros, I pay like $36 in euros. Well, the conversion rate for that is anywhere from $5 to $6.
Okay. So basically, you spend more money into like if it's a conversion than just like doing any work on the project.
Well, in some sense, yes. It depends on how big of an order you give. The conversion does have a limit to how far it goes. A lot of times it's just that extra $6 and there you go. But other times it can, if it goes, like say you want like $1,000, okay, they turn around, now it's like $36. It's all on depending on how much they have to process.
Okay.
And also for your question about being hired in game development, what I recommend for you to do is to get into like modeling or programming or even web design. Turn around, start yourself off with small games like RPG Maker for learning to program.
Yeah.
Then work your way up to like Unreal Engine and Unity. Make some mini games, join yourself into different projects. So when you go up to a company, because the first thing they're going to ask you is, what's your history? They want to see what game histories you've got, and that's why a lot of these developers that are in college jump on board of people going to make their own game.
Okay. So basically, I would like you told you said about like RPG Maker. Like when I first saw RPG Maker, like I told myself like it's not really about programming. It's more like you just copy and paste like images, or like you just create like your map, and after you just send the game to the store.
Well,
that's like the way I saw it.
You really didn't see the full details in it because you're just seeing the basic. What you should look into, like YinFly. YinFly adds a bunch of plugins to increase the engine. Then you turn around, you learn that, all right, you need to put a plugin here for the cutscene. You need to put several plugins for each scene to work. And it's more simple than, I mean, it sounds difficult, but it's actually pretty simple because a lot of these plugins are self-made for you. But it is wise to learn to make plugins yourself because then it teaches you programming. And you can actually increase the engine and make it better than it is supposed to be.
Okay. You know, it's kind of fun of like hearing the points of view of an actual developer and like just watching something like video. Because what I used to do is basically like go on YouTube, try to find like basically videos about like the life of the developer, like basically in CJEP or college or university, just to learn like what are the troubles that they have to go through, and like basically that.
Ironically enough, that's basically what I did when I first started. I was researching the whole ordeal because me and my friends, we made a pact that we'll make our own video game company right out of school. So that's what why I tried to sign up for college. I actually tried signing up at 19 for DeVry University, but backed off after I heard the price. And I turned around and I researched business. That's what I did. I researched the business half, what it took to develop a video game, and I did more than just look at the videos. I did what I hated doing. I had to go and read everything and go for a lot of the technical details or all the coding. Like, say for Unreal Engine, they recommend you to learn CC Plus for coding for Unreal Engine, which is very wise. And a lot of companies, or a lot of developers, they start off on a single engine like Unreal Engine or Unity, and then they turn around and they take their same device and they move it into their own engine because these engines do have their own limitations.
Yeah. So basically, it's somewhat like better to like learn by yourself than to wait until you like start learning in school.
It's best to really do either both, but if you're trying to, it all depends on your situation. Can you afford it for one? Can you be able to sign up for anything that, like a financial aid if you can't afford it? And if you can't, what are your other options? Because a lot of times you do need to go through college in order to get a license.
Yeah.
Of course, I don't have to worry about getting a license because the people I work with have a license towards it. So all I have to do is, okay, since they're the ones making the engine, you can put it in under his license, turn around, and now it's on PlayStation. You only need a license for putting on the consoles like PlayStation or Xbox or stuff like that.
Do you need a license for for if you want to put your game onto, let's say, Android or
No.
Apple?
No. You do not need a license for that. That's all free as you can be.
Okay.
And actually, that's a lot of companies are going that route because it's starting to prove more profitable than games like I'm playing right now, believe it or not.
Okay.
Wow.
Also, on another arena I went on the app, so it was like game development and coding 101. And when I was looking for actual good game engines that would require me to actually play just like the Unreal Engine, it was Unity, where apparently you don't have the rights once your game is out because the rights of your game are now Unity's rights.
Well, that's all in contracts you look into. It's a bit of a gray area because you can still have it where your game rights are still yours. Like a lot of times, when I sell this game, I'm willing to turn around and go to the author of HighSchool DxD and say, hey, if you're not willing to let me have permission, what I will do is say, well, I'll give you every right to the game, just make sure my names are on it. And I'll still have rights to the music and shit, because like I said before, I don't care about the money, I want the game to get out there. And
you just want to have some accomplishment in your life. It's not just about money, right?
Right. I mean, look at me. I did say I'm going blind, and I could go blind anytime. I could go blind just talking to you. What do I have? What would be the use of me getting money? I've been told more than once that I can't fix that. I'm born this way,
Yeah.
and there's nothing I can do about it. So there's no real point for me having. I'm just rambling now. Sorry.
Oh, it's fine.
But yeah, I have a lot of goals. Yeah, I do want to make a company. A lot of them are spiteful goals because I want to make my own website like YouTube. That's because I hate how YouTube's set up. But I was told how much money it was, so I was like, oh, well, that's going to have to be a long-term goal. Because it would cost me $12,000 to $20,000 to make a website just like YouTube.
Okay.
That's $20,000 by adding live streams, $12,000 just to have regular, like everything else YouTube has to offer.
Okay. Well, that's one of my goals that I have. One of my number one is actually making a game. The other one is working at Ubisoft. But also another one to actually make games with one of my friends because we're both going to the same school.
Mm-hmm. Smart.
But I don't know if it's possible for me to if I become a game developer at Ubisoft and I start making games on my own as well, because maybe I'll start to be overnight.
It depends on how large of the scale of the project you're doing. It's always recommended to start small. That's why I told you to do RPG Maker first, because you can turn that into an app game, make a little budget, and you can use that to pretty much finance your life so you can focus on what you really want to do. I didn't really do that route because it's just not in my personality. I'm more of a go big or go home kind of guy. It's hard for me to do smaller projects. But another thing that a lot of small-time developers are starting off to do is, say, like virtual novel games. They only cost anywhere from $25,000 to $3,000 if you're hiring a team, unless you're adding voice acting in there, and it's a little bit more. But it's still virtually cheaper than trying to make a 3D model game yourself. But as you're sitting there and you're doing all the programming yourself, like say you're using Unreal Engine. All Unreal Engine will do is take 10% of whatever you earn, which is not bad. You earn nothing, they earn nothing. It's a reasonable goal.
Yeah.
That's why I like Unreal Engine more than Unity, and I don't really get why a lot of developers prefer Unity. And I checked out both engines, and Unreal Engine seems more simple, and it's definitely got better graphics in their engine. Everything looks better in Unreal Engine, where Unity kind of looks like you put clay on there.
Yeah. Well, when I first looked at Unity, first I downloaded Unity for checking out how it is, how it works.
Mm-hmm.
But since my computer is fully shit and it's from 2007, so sometimes we'll load some assets.
Yeah, that's the thing about all gaming engines, including Unreal Engine, is the more powerful your computer, the more powerful the gaming engine's going to be.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure if I would run RPG Maker on my computer, I'm pretty sure it would be better because since it's more like 2D, so it doesn't require too much RAM.
Yeah, see, I have RPG Maker. I could tell you that when I used to have a really a lot lower scale computer, and it's a 2006, and it would only cost me $700 to get the computer, and that's only if you had tax. Now, see, it plays RPG Maker with absolute ease, and that was the fullest version of it. And even with adding in N-Fly's little deal in there, it still played with ease. Which, like I said before, it's still smart to go that route first, because then you can just put it on, like say you turn around, you put it on Google Play Store, you have advertisements on it, you don't make people buy on there, add little rewards videos on there, so they'll be more up to play the game. They turn around, and you earn so much income. Say you actually have 10 people on there at least an hour a day. Well, that's $100 to even $1,000 a day.
Okay. So, also you talk about putting ads in for rewards videos, also for getting money out of it. But when I think about this, I feel it's I just feel it's I don't feel like doing it. I don't feel like putting any ads because I don't feel like being that one guy that puts ad every 5 seconds just in a video.
You don't really have control about what you can do with the ads. The ads pop in. Google kind of just sets up the ads when you put it in there, so the ads just pop in every so time you turn around. Otherwise, I would have it set up where what the fuck?
What's the matter?
A fucking fly flew near my ear. I thought it was a fucking hornet.
Flies, man.
Well, like I was saying, it's kind of difficult to do commercial advertisement on there so you can get yourself going. Because I have an app, and I did that specifically for people to have a free way to support the HighSchool DxD game. And now I'm adding rewards to the app. Oh shit! Someone just hi there. Yeah, man, this thing needs to do a little bing or something so I know somebody's texting. What's going on?
That's one thing that you can do on Twitch.
Oh yeah, it bings to let you know. The only reason why I don't use Twitch, because the last few times I tried using Twitch, it wouldn't play any audio at all. It kind of pissed me off.
Okay.
But I'll probably end up giving a try eventually again. I don't know. It'll be eventual, because a lot of people keep asking me to do it, so eventually I'll go, okay.
Because I think some people think that Twitch is the best thing, but sometimes it's the worst in some way. Because
it really depends on you. Because Twitch, it's all just live streams. Yeah, it's all just live streams. Which the problem with live streams, you can't edit a single video after it's done. So if something happens you don't want in the video, it's really private, or you screwed up or you're just being really boring because you're too into the game. So you're just focused. You can't edit any of that part out. You can't edit your deaths out. A lot of people like to see people. You gotta have a really energetic personality all the time to be on something like a live stream.
Yeah. Honestly, that's not like my strongest human feature because whenever I talk more like I'm more depressed. My voice sounds more depressed and like more instead of more like has more energy into it. Sorry, I can't really talk today.
You're fine.
Like like when I was just trying to do like videos on YouTube, I wouldn't be really putting my voice into like the clips because first of all I was sort of scared of people maybe just like saying why you're so depressed or something like that because I don't feel like having too much like having stuff being negative.
Well, it's the thing. I don't really get that depressed feel or sound from you when you talk.
Yeah.
But I will say that I'm a lot the same way. There's times where I'm energetic, and there's times where I'm just like really tired and I'm just forcing it. And you can tell the difference there. Like if you watch my old channel that I used to be a part of, you'll find there's some where I'm very energetic and there's some where you can tell I just didn't really care.
Okay. Because right now my channel is mostly about like just taking clips of what I've done good in Call of Duty and that's it. Like that's the only gameplay that I've done.
Well, okay. When I first started on my original YouTube channel, it was with Fable. And I did it with my friend. We called ourselves Leonis and Fist of Fury because we were using our gamer tags.
Yeah.
We went through right there. I was off and on about being very energetic, but over time, I did get where I was like, okay, I just got less feel for it, and then got to the point where we started doing more acting videos together, comedy skits. Like we have one where I play as Kyle Ren, and he plays as Darth Vader, and we just pretty much botch up the entire characters, and it's hilarious. There's another one that's a pretty popular character of mine, and they call me Cy Leonis. It's where I play as Uncle Cy from Duck Dynasty, and I turn around and I act like a salesman, and a lot of people thought that personality was actually funny. It's trying to find the right persona for you when you're doing a YouTube video. It's pretty hard.
Okay.
A lot of times, and a lot of big-time YouTubers will even tell you to do this, don't play games people ask you to play. Play games you're interested in playing. Because you need to have that feel in order to actually make it work. Like, look at Markiplier. He plays specific games to what he's liking. Yeah, he'll play games that people give him, like, requests for, but if he doesn't like it, he won't continue with it.
Yeah, like this is one thing. Like some YouTubers are like that. Like some people get requests for like playing Fortnite or anything like that. But like just like you said, with Markiplier, he mostly plays like horror games like that he likes, or just stupid games. But there's only one video of Fortnite edited, and that's it. He didn't do anything more. But yeah, going back on the topic for like game development and stuff, like, did you went to college? Because if you went to college for like.
I tried to go to college, and I didn't like how expensive it was, so I backed out. I do plan on going back to college, and with my friend who was supposed to join with me. Whenever I can, it's just I need to figure out the financial situation on that. Everything I learned was self-taught and was online, and I mostly learned the business half of the deal. I actually say if you're trying to start your own business, if you're trying to get a loan for a business, you have to have a business first.
Yeah.
Yeah, you cannot Like, say if you're trying to do like a restaurant or anything like that, you literally have to have a business for at least a year. No, I think 3 years. Yeah, you have to have a business for at least 3 years before any bank will accept you.
Okay.
It's like, okay, so you're just starting out, and you need to have tax income, and you need to make a certain amount for at least 3 years. Okay, that's a real bitch.
So basically, you need to make profit. You need to put your name out there in order to be accepted by banks.
Yep.
All right. Also, for the advertisement, on games, you get paid for that, right?
No, you pay for that.
Okay, so you have to pay for it in order to count it.
You pay for the advertisement yourself in order to get people to come in and buy your product. That's what you have to do. It's what they call marketing. Like Facebook right now, I have it on Facebook, and I paid $60 in order for at least 1 week, and it's all I could really do right now. And I managed to get over a couple thousand people, well, a little over 1,000 people, and most shared. And it's all depending on how you set it up. Like my first 3 patrons is after I put an ad on YouTube. I put an ad on YouTube. I had it set up for a daily count of $10 for 5 days. After that, I managed to get a certain amount of views. All those views are from ads that came up, and the person actually watched. Because YouTube has it set up where you only pay for after 30 seconds of your video being watched. Of course, you can only skip after 30 seconds, so it's kind of a crock.
Okay.
But yeah, they have it set up that way, and that's actually how I ended up getting patrons on Patreon. However, Patreon and the Patreon takes a percentage, and then the transfer of the money ends up taking a percentage, so that money ended up being completely useless because it was too small of an amount. I ended up getting $23, and I go to transfer it, and I only ended up getting like $15 out of the whole ordeal.
Okay.
So.
Also, just keep going.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you're going to ever do anything like Patreon, Kickstarter, always look at the percentage and make sure you do a realistic amount for putting down. I put down $1 thinking I don't want to be too pushy. Now I realize I wasn't pushy enough. Yeah, you shouldn't go any less than, really $5, but $10 is recommended and above.
Okay. So maybe something I should try is maybe my first game.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll just put maybe a price on it. It'll be $2 or $3. So then that money would go maybe in my bank account if I could link it to it.
If you're doing, you can do that. I suggest doing online Google Play Store or Game Jolt. Actually, Game Jolt I suggest a lot more than Google Play Store because they don't take a percentage. Last I checked, out of the games you make.
So Google takes a percentage.
They take a small percent. I realized that because when I was selling my music, 4 people bought my songs. Each one was 99 cents, so that's $4, and I only have 89 cents out of it all.
Okay. Just trying to be focused on this game is just trying to be good at doing good at this, but what else was I going to say? What was the process that you got when you wanted to make the HighSchool DxD video game?
When I first started making the HighSchool DxD video game, the process I started with is I had to figure out exactly what way I wanted to take it.
Okay.
I had to research where I can find developers. That took me a little while. First, I ended up running across. The first one I ran across was Upwork, and that ended up being way too much money. Everyone wanted the $150 an hour. They were absurd, and they believed they ruled the world. So those guys were just completely out. So I went to Fiverr, where you only pay one deal. Ended up getting scammed the first time around. Thank God Fiverr has a setup where all you have to do is send them a message. Hey, this guy tried to take my money and never send me anything. And they turn around and give me back the money and pretty much kick that guy right off of Fiverr because they're bad for their business.
Okay.
And then I turned around and I took that same $400. I put up a post on Fiverr, because you can do that, for a request of finding 3D model developers. And I was going to try to do a lot of the Unreal Engine stuff myself, because I played around with Unreal Engine for a while and I have it on my computer. It's the whole reason why I got my computer. Found out that was very difficult for the development half, so I ended up having to find a programmer that can do the Unreal Engine for me. I found one. He was a decent guy to work with, made it a lot more simple, and I even found the other developer for my buildings from doing the same thing by posting. Every person I ever found was either posting or searching. My my programmer, I'd never actually found by posting, because a lot of people were just giving me some bullshit. And I was very specific about being Unreal Engine, and they're sending me stuff with phones, and they were just obviously just hungry for money, and they didn't really have any experience. So I ended up turning around and searching, and I went for top-rated sellers, from top-rated level 2 to level 2 sellers to top-rated to pro, and I found the guy I was looking for, and he ended up making Beta 0. And he's even contacted me wondering when I'm going to have Beta 0.1 continue on. Fortunately, I am financial difficulties, so I had to say, okay, well, right now I couldn't afford to hire you because of all these issues here, so can we hold off on this so I can turn around and have everything what I want for Unreal Engine done first? So I turned around and ended up paying my other developers exactly what I needed to pay them to finish each character, and I still got to do a little further. I got my mapping for the school nearly completely done. Now I just need to do inside the school and inside the buildings. Now, when it comes... Oh, go ahead.
Okay, so like you need to find it inside the school, so basically you have to rewatch some episode of HighSchool DxD in order to do like the mapping.
What I ended up doing, because I was getting very annoyed about having to watching and taking screenshots, I ended up downloading this program that lets me download a video and convert it all into photos. Everything's like screenshots. I turned around, did that, then I searched through every photo I needed, and I sent it right to my developers, so that made it where they have all the accurate work they needed. But the anime has its own limitations. Like, a lot of people go, well, wait, why is there a pool indoors? I thought the pool was outdoors. Well, actually, if you watch Season 1, you find there's a pool indoors, and in Season 2, there's a pool outdoors.
Exactly.
So there's actually...
The indoor was like in the first episode, so...
Mm-hmm. So...
You know, I'm glad to be talking with you, because I actually get almost all my questions answered as being like a future game developer. And I thank you for that, by the way.
Hey, anytime.
I think you had something to say before I cut you, right?
Can you repeat what you just said?
I think I cut it I cut you before you were saying something, right?
Yeah, but I was pretty much just keep going on about what I was saying there. I actually don't even remember. Yeah, I could be like that, a little airheaded sometimes. Doesn't help that it's like 110.
Well, I mean, so basically, making a game is basically like a lot about like business and actually like having good coworkers.
Oh yeah, you definitely want to make sure you have a good team. There's a lot of people that don't like having a team. Like the programmer I hired, he said he was formerly in a team and he doesn't really care much for being in a team long term. And that just tells me that he has some issues, some debates. You want to have, you do want to have a team, but you want to make sure your team gets along with each other.
Yeah. Or else, like, the work won't get done. It's basically like teamwork in school. You, like, sometimes the teacher teams you up with, like, people that you don't know. But sometimes it's more likely because of, like, trying to, like, improve your skill for teamwork.
Pretty much. Yes. See, that's the beauty about having a team too. Is like you're saying, they help improve your skill. They pretty much compensate for your weaknesses, and they can even tell you some things like you didn't know about yourself. Like Unreal Engine has a polygon count limitation, and the guy I talked to, he was telling me about all these limitations and why certain 3D model, like Rhea actually was meant to come out a lot better looking than she did, and in all honesty, we're maxing out Unreal Engine. But if you look at the game right now, it doesn't look all that impressive. To be honest, I will say it doesn't look that impressive. The characters they're good, but they don't look as good as Kingdom Hearts good. And that's made in the same engine. That made me question it a little bit. Then I found out, looking into it some more, it's just how the games first start off. A lot of them start off looking very, very crummy.
Like dull looking?
Yeah. They all, quite a few games will start off looking dull looking, and then you find the texture will change over time as you're building on into the game. It's pretty much you should get all the mapping of the game done first, and then you should touch up the textures as you go along. After a while, the characters will look like the way you want them to. And you gotta be careful too, because if you go too much with looking at the looks of the horror deal, it can take away from the game's performance.
Okay.
Like, a lot of people complain about Final Fantasy XIV. Like, can they add this in there? Can they add that in there? Can't they give it more graphics so it's just as beautiful as the other Final Fantasy games? Well, a lot of people don't understand. If to make it look that good and play as good, it does take away from the performance.
Yeah. Like, also, I could take an example as, so you know, like, when PS3 first, like, was first released in, like, some games.
What'd you say?
Like, the process, like, when PS3 first came out, like, the game wasn't, like, somewhat kind of good looking. Some games were like that. But then after, like, it got better because first, developers couldn't really work with the processor because it was too hard, because it was hard to, like, understand it.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
when PS4 came out, we had, like, The Last of Us, and it was, like, beautiful.
yeah, and when you play it on PS3, it's still beautiful, but not quite as like awe-inspiring. I noticed. I did notice a big difference between the two.
Also, like, just keep going. I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say because one's 4K and the other one's not. The other one's got more pixelation, and that's what causes that pixelation. That polygon count is what makes the game look beautiful.
Yeah. Also, one thing in all of this is, shit, what was I gonna say? Like, you know, some people will complain on how, like, games are, like, how games they are, or like, oh, that game has this one thing that's not good about it, so they should, like, just change it, but they don't put themselves in the perspective of a game developer, because they don't have that experience. They don't know how hard it is to work like on a full year just making a game.
It is extremely, it's extremely difficult to develop a video game. But but to be honest with you, a lot of those problems don't come from the developers themselves. It comes from the people the people doing all the paperwork, the business people. They're like, okay, we want this in there. We want you to cut that. Like, look at the new God of War game. The guy to develop the God of War game, the head guy for it, he kept lying to his. He basically just said it. He kept lying and putting things off to his superiors because they said, "Oh, we want you to cut this. Oh, we want you to put this out. And you can't be putting that in there." And they kept telling him pretty much too much what to do, and he just kind of nonchalantly put it off or went around the red tape pretty much. Otherwise, the game would have been half the size it is now, which is a poor marketing strategy, but
well, this will take the same example as for Call of Duty. Like, sometimes they just remove or like they just decide to like supply drops. But basically, it's not like Treyarch or Sledgehammer or Infinity Ward choices. It's just Activision and bullshit because it's just want to make more money.
Mm-hmm. Well, another issue a lot of developers have are not so much copyright, but censorship issues from different consoles. Like in Japan, they have this game called Love Pot or Love Gun. It's a virtual reality game where he's got these high school girls that are going at you, and you gotta pretty much shoot them to keep them away because they're all in love with you. Now they turn around for the American version of the PlayStation. They turn around and told the developers that they had to make it where you can't look above below their skirt because you can see their panties. Oh, okay. All right. That's just kind of. So it's okay to have anime out there that goes a little risque, but video games is a big no-no. Or God of War. God of War's got tits and everything, but yet you don't see any anime games really have a lot of that shit. I find that very aggravating. And a lot of people...
It's stupid.
Yeah, a lot of people ask me, how come you're not doing Xbox One? Well, for one, I will flat out say it, I don't like Xbox because of the way they got things set up. Now, they're too greedy. And I don't like them saying to their players that, oh, your game isn't your game. That I didn't like. Another reason why I didn't want to go to Xbox is because of the censorship problem. I looked into their if I were to turn around and try to put HighSchool DxD in there, they'll turn around and say, well, we want you to take the censorship option out, make it where you can only see them in a certain area. We need you to cut this because it's bad for our image. Oh yeah, go fuck yourself.
Yeah. Well, especially like, look, the only games that Xbox has for like basically anime, it's like what Naruto, SAO.
I didn't know they had SAO. I knew they had Dragon Ball and.
Well, they have SAO like the GGO one, but that's it.
There is Tales of Vesperia that's in there, but. That's like you're saying. It's not a whole lot. The ones they do got are really shitty or kind of just over the top.
Yeah.
See,
I just look at games now, and it's like it's not as good as it used to have. Because now it's just
looks.
You just get those games that are like unfinished. And now they just put like DLCs in it because it didn't feel like just pushing the game back.
Well, that's just the thing. Even I would have DLCs in my game, but that's only to keep the game running. And it's also like I'm a big fan of Ruby. If I can get Rooster Teeth to sign off on it, I would love to put Team Ruby in the fucking High School DxD game. But that's if I can get to sign off on it. The way I would do it. Oh, go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Honestly, like, I'm really glad that you're one of the first persons to make a game on High School DxD, because I always thought that, like, they would just say, like, the producers of High School DxD would just say no, because you're just thinking of a fucking idea and just making it to get yourself your own money. But what you're doing right now is just a good way to take a good anime and to put it back into an actual good category of game.
That's really the whole point why I did it. I actually struggled on what game I wanted to go with first. It was between 3 different games. I wanted to do either a fairy tale game, High School DxD, or Ruby. And I turned around and went, okay, which one is more popular and which one could end up growing faster? And I love all those animes. And which one would would benefit more out of the backing of the game? Okay, Fairy Tail would make a fantastic game. It would be like another Dragon Ball Z, to be honest. But the anime series is it's so good. It's pretty much going on its own. It doesn't need any backing. Where High School DxD, they turned around and they went into season 4, which took them quite a while to do. And I noticed the poor quality of High School DxD Heroes was, honestly, I could see Heroes killing off the series because of
honestly, look, with episode 8, if I remember, because I'm watching it double 8, so, like, it pisses me off where, like, E6 just go away. Because when you were at the ending of season 3, you were just telling yourself, well, look, you got your fucking romance, they're actually, like, loving each other, but now you look at Hero.
That is not a screw up on their end. That is a screw up on the team that worked on it and Bourne, because what they did with the last 3 episodes, I believe. Yeah, I think it was the last 3 episodes. No, the last 2 episodes were filler, and they were completely non-canon. And because they did it that way, a lot of fans noticed that they read the novel, and they completely screwed up. They could have screwed up the potential of the anime going on forward because it just wouldn't match. That's the problem with a lot of anime studios. A lot of them think it's okay to turn around and go, okay, well, we'll just take this and put it up our own thing. To me, it wasn't the story that bugged me. It's just the art and animation. I know the author, he loves the artwork, because that's the original artwork for the novel. He stated that he loved the artwork, that he thought it was on the mark. Me, however, I always cringed when I saw the artwork. I thought it made the women look like guys, and it made the guys look like women.
So are you talking about, like, season 1 to 3, or just season 4 itself?
It's just season 4 itself. Season 1 to 3, I love the graphics, animation, the women, the whole artwork was just beautiful.
Yeah, I know. Like, honestly, when I first saw this, I was like, wow, this is just fucking beautiful. Awesome. We should keep going with this. But yeah, and when I saw season 4, I was like, alright, wait, what's the point of them to just change it for no fucking reason?
When I first saw it, I thought it was a gag. I really thought some person was trying to troll, because it looked like someone, like, on YouTube just did a little hand-drawn of themselves, their own version of High School DxD, and threw it out there because they were too impatient and just went, hey, the new seasons just came out, and that's what I first thought when I saw the trailer. I was pretty pissed off when I seen how it was going.
Yeah, well, honestly, like, season 1 to 3, like, they had the best battles, first of all.
Mm-hmm.
I loved like, how the fights with Issei and Valor were. It was, like, the most beautiful thing. But now, like, I just look at Regis, okay? like she looks a little bit more cuter, but it's just sometimes it just doesn't feel like what it used to be.
No, that's the problem about switching from one style to another. It takes away because you got fans used to this, and then you turn around and take. It's like Ben 10. I know it's the kids' cartoon, but it used to look really fantastic, and then they got even better, and then they turn around and they completely botched it. Another one, Pokemon.
I used to watch Ben 10 and it was fucking great. Now I just wonder what it is now. It's just disgusting.
No, they say.
Like, what is this?
They say it's because kids. It's better for kids, and that's why a lot of the games I make, I do not make for kids, except for rare exceptions.
Yeah.
Because the rare exceptions is like if I did make the Ruby game I want to make. All right, that's like a teen rating, like style. So yes, I will go with a teen rating. I would love to make a horror game, and I want to keep to the canon aspect, but that's the reason why I put that game off on hold. The truth be told, I ain't gonna lie to you. If I had the money, I would buy out Rooster Teeth just so I can make video games for Ruby. But
yeah,
this is the nerd of me talking. Anyway, where was I at? I think I lost track of myself. Shit. Oh yeah, the rated. Why I focus mostly on rated M games, not so much X rated. I'm not looking for making a porn game. I'm looking for a game without limitations. Like the HighSchool DxD game I'm making. Yes, it's going to have all the aspects that HighSchool DxD has for the sexual content to where as far as the anime goes. But you're going to find it more like Attack on Titan brutal because you're going to be able to break people's ribs. You're going to be able to rip people's arms off, which, yeah, in canon you can do that. You can actually cut someone's head off, crush it, and even rip somebody's heart out. I'm adding these features into the game because I don't like limitations. I like the brutality. Look at Mortal Kombat. Made it become a big hit.
Yeah, like, it first started in the 90s or 80s. I don't remember which year, but it went, like, people were complaining about it, but it's a fucking great game.
The only ones that complain about it, if you ever notice, are people on the news or rich people. Rich people complain about everything. Oh my God! This and that. Oh my God, Donald Trump. Oh my God, this. Oh my God.
It's not only that. It's basically, oh, look at that, fucking feminist or whatever. It's... Feminists are the people that this is beyond the most. It's like, oh, you're looking at our fucking tits. Oh, guess what? It's the common thing of a fucking human being.
You know, the funny part about that is I used to be a feminist, and now I'm an equalist. Because I got annoyed with feminists because they would put you down just for being a male, and I look down on that.
Yeah. Well, that was one thing. It's like I would hear all this fucking feminists and shit, and they would never shut up. It's like, oh, well, you're fucking looking at red girls. You're fucking trying to make them like less important or whatever, and that pisses me off. Like, that pisses me off so much that it's basically like you don't have any rights to do anything now because you'll just trigger too many people.
Well, yeah, that's the possibility of being sued too, because a lot of people come up with just the biggest bullshit reason to sue you. Like, oh God, you put this in the game and my son bought it, so I'm suing you. But besides the fact that it's actually my responsibility.
Also, like, I remember when I was 12 years old, my mom, I asked my mom if I could buy the game, like, Pop Chainsaw.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't give a shit because my mom is a fucking feminist. And this is the great thing about some people in the world. You don't have this fucking constant bullshit that just hits you in the face for no fucking reason.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I grew up, I never had to worry about if I wanted to get a game, I could just get it. My parents didn't care because they knew what kind of person I am. They knew what kind of games I played, and I played God of War. I had tits and shit like that. I played fucking Witcher. I played Dragon Age. All that stuff. And
Well, I remember when I was younger, I used to play GTA San Andreas, and like there was fucking strip bars in it.
mm-hmm.
I don't give a shit.
See, that's just the thing. And my nephews, my oldest nephew's 11 years old. My youngest nephew is 3 years old. And they both play Grand Theft Auto. I personally don't like them playing Grand Theft Auto too much at that age, but then again, the mother's okay with it, and they don't cause any troubles at school. They don't go, okay, that, and they don't say anything. They don't swear. They're pretty well behaved, so there's not really an issue.
Also, like, this is one thing, I don't know if you heard this, like, gaming disorder. That's one thing that pisses me off also.
Yeah, I've heard of it.
It's like, it's basically like, oh, well, some people would say, oh, it's basically because of gaming that there's school shooting up. It's basically because of gaming that there's war, whatever. Just an example, but...
The only problem about that is wars and killing and all that, and these psychos have always been there long before gaming's even been around, long before TV's ever been around. Look at Hitler.
Yeah.
Fucking guys.
Hitler was playing video games, so he has gaming disorder.
Oh, yeah.
People are just like taking up stupid shit and just start fucking crying about it, even though they don't know anything. They just...
Yeah.
Like, they haven't played any games. They don't know what's, like... They don't know in what direction they're going to, because they're just gonna fuck themselves up for no reason. And they're like, oh, well, this guy assaulted me. You know, it was like fucking... What was it again? I think it was Gamergate. I don't remember correctly, but it was something like that, and a bunch of feminists was going on about it.
That's just the thing. If I ever got called into an interview and someone was doing an argument to me like, you shouldn't have made this game because it's got this sexual content in there and blah blah blah, my son got a hold of it, but like, listen, I don't care about your opinion because your opinion is less than dirt to me, because all you are is ignorant. You're telling me all this stuff, but you don't realize you literally had to have an adult with you just for your kid to buy a game. So you're telling me that you let your kid buy this game and then turn around and complain about it. You're a bad parent.
It's like, look, it's not my fault if I make this game. It's not my fault if your son plays it. It's your fault, because the reason why is because you're bad parenting, because you don't look up what your son does, or you're just a fucking feminist that has no fucking point, and you just don't know anything about it.
A lot of companies like Walmart, GameStop, and everything, they're required now by law to turn around and go, okay, what's your age? Because if it comes up immature, you literally have to be 17. Actually, no, you not even 17 plus. It might say 17 plus on there, but you got to be 18 just to buy the game.
Yeah.
Because they want ID.
You know. Yeah, exactly. It's like, oh, like, you need to be 18. You need to be 18 to drink alcohol, but
I'm busy.
Yeah, that's just alcohol.
But I'm busy. I'm online.
When it comes to video games, it's just something that's virtual. It's not something like that's real.
Yeah. Sorry about that. I heard everything you were saying. It's just I got family calling saying they're coming over, so it's like, it's like okay. But it's letting me know I'm busy.
All my family is like over somewhere, so I don't even know if they can call me or just let me die in a fucking corner or whatever. But yeah, like, speaking of like the subject of like IDs and being over 18 and stuff, well, the reason they decide to put 18 is because they think that's like the mature age. You're legally an adult and you're technically like able to think by yourself.
Yep, that's basically it. You're right. Not to mention, you got proof. When you turn 18, you got your ID with you. Well, unless you're one of those kids that get your license at 16.
Yeah.
See, I'm not one of those kids because I'm not legally allowed to drive. Damn it.
Oh, you didn't start learning to drive?
Hmm?
You didn't start learning to drive because on my side, my dad would tell me, you should come to like the fucking place for like getting your driver's license and like taking your classes. I'm like, I'll do it. She told like, no, my mom told me this, and I was 16. Now I'm 17.
Well, a lot of places. Yep, go ahead.
And next thing you know, like I'm turning 18, like next month, and it's basically most of my friends got their driver's license, and I don't. And it's like some people just turn up to me and they're like, wait, why you don't have your driver's license? What the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah, I understand that. Well, a lot of people get lucky too. That they got schools. In their schools actually have a driver's course inside of there.
Okay.
They turn around.
One thing
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
well, I never knew there was something like that, but just keep going what you were saying.
Oh, I was just going to say that they just turn around and the school will announce, okay, they'll do an announcement. So, all right, if you want to go on the driver's course, have your parents' permission because you still have to have your parents' permission. And then they turn around and you got a little driving course and the school will do it. A lot of high schools will do that. But these high schools, every time I notice them, they're always like a middle class high school. Sometimes you get rare schools that are not like really dirt poor and they got it. It's rare. I didn't grow up with it, but there are schools out there that do have it. Hell, there's one school my friend went to. You learn archery. I thought that was cool.
Huh. Usually you get archery in like camps or something like that.
Yeah, they just had it as an extracurricular, and I mean, a lot of schools have different programs. Like the school I grew up with was Oswego High School. Back when my parents were kids, they had a boxing program. When I got in there, they didn't have it anymore. I was like, God damn it! So I better not go box with my friends.
Yeah.
Oh, the way life can throw you curveballs. You know, originally I wasn't actually trying to become the game developer. It was actually a second choice. What I really wanted to become,
really?
yeah, what I really wanted to become was a professional wrestler. I backed out of that dream because my height, I stopped my growth at ninth grade, and I was 5'8", and then after high school I shrank to 5'6". So, the fuck. I didn't want to be the next Rey Mysterio. I didn't want people going, oh look, it's David versus Goliath. No, I want to be Goliath, motherfucker. I wanted to be the next Undertaker.
Yeah. Well, speaking of like dreams, before when I was younger, I wanted to be like a scientist because of Spider-Man and shit. So I would like want to make my own fucking living. Yeah, I was a huge fan of Spider-Man back then. What else? Then after, when I wanted to become a programmer, that was back in sixth four because that was the actual time that I would learn about sixth form. Like, you would need it, but I couldn't get it to high math, so got to do it in CJ. But also at the same time, since my dad is in the military, like he told me like I could go into like the reserve, so I could like actually get like have a job and start to earn well have an actual job and this is just that. But I wouldn't want to go, so fuck. But yeah, this is how life works.
Life can throw you a lot of curveballs, and some can be good. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I was going through a state of depression for a while there, and when I joined Amino and started posting stuff about the video game, I got such a reaction.
Yeah.
It made me actually feel good.
Yeah, that's one thing. When I was starting to like post some drawings, like sometimes I would just start to feel down because I wouldn't just feel good about like how life it is, and like sometimes I have a crush on someone, and I just realized, well, guess what? Fuck it. I can't do shit. She has a boyfriend, so
Sorry.
since I started posting stuff on the HighSchool DxD video, and like posting the masks that I started doing, and like getting the positive feedback, like actually made me feel good.
Mm.
So then I told myself, well, if I keep posting, I'll just get more positive. Like people will just say I'm good at something.
Yeah, stuff like that can really make you feel good. I wasn't expecting to get the feedback I did. They turned around, they made a category just for me on there, which I thought that was really nice. It was actually the first category they added in there, and the fan reaction when I first put up a chat room specifically so I can get ideas off of other people, and because I wanted the fans' input, not just make a game that I would like, but a game everybody would like. And the input and everything, everybody just flooded in there, and then everybody went nuts after I started posting the first. And the first one I started posting was images I had from the 3D model of Rhea's Grimmery. She came out beautiful at first, but she had to be redone because Unreal Engine, her polygon count was too high. Otherwise, she would look exactly, and I mean this, she would have looked exactly like HighSchool DxD in the anime from season 1 to 3.
Yeah.
That's how good, and it was all 3D, nothing 2D. It was 3D, but it looked so perfect, it looked like the anime. I was like, oh man.
Yeah. Like that was the first thing. When I saw this, I was like, oh fuck, like she made like my fucking waifu into a model, and into my head I was just telling myself, yeah, that's basically how it would be. It would be like anything else. Like honestly, that's some really good work you've done with the 3D model of it.
I got a really good team.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people ask me, like, how much does it cost me to do it? Believe it or not, it's only cost me $100 per 3D character and $200 per building. That's actually how much it's been costing me. Literally, however, the typical cost for, like, say if I wanted the building from HighSchool DxD made, originally, if you hire a professional out there, they would charge you about $2,000 plus.
Yeah, but that would have been like probably like higher quality, but that's something that would probably take more time.
No, they would have turned around, did exactly what I shown them, because there isn't much to show, just for the same amount of detail. Would have cost $2,000. And if I wanted to put stuff inside the school, that's another $3,000 to $5,000.
Yeah.
So yeah, I got really lucky that I found the team I did. I will say that. And as a thank you to my team, I always turn around. I always give them credit for their work. I make sure I give them credit because it helps.
You don't want this project to be just by yourself. It's like, other people help me for doing this. They deserve my appreciation and all the hard work you've done. It's all thanks to them.
Exactly. It also helps them out too because they're trying to make a living off of Fiverr, and so the more this helps them out, where more people want to come up and hire them, which is good.
Yeah. Yeah. So basically, they're helping you, and you're helping them by putting their name out there.
Yep, that's.
Honestly, I was just waiting for this for a high school DxD game because honestly, we saw everything. We saw Dragon Ball, Naruto, and so on and so forth.
The thing is, there is a High School DxD game already made. It was for Nintendo, and it's also playable on the phone.
Oh yeah, right.
The thing, when I saw the game, and this is something I don't like about how Japanese people, when they run their business, they care too much for just their inner country. They don't care about the international at all. And that bugs me.
It's basically we got a product, and fuck you.
Yeah. Well, look at Dragon Ball. They turned around and they made the third Brawly movie. It was produced only in Japan. And it's like okay, well, what about you got a shitload of fans from Germany, France, Austria, Canada, England. What about those guys?
Yeah. Even I have a friend that loves Dragon Ball. He fucking plays on it, and an anime that's that good, it's rare. Usually some anime that tries to put itself out, it's rare.
Well, I will say this. I do love Dragon Ball, don't ever get me wrong on this. But I think it's also gotten to be overhyped over time because so many animes came out so much better than Dragon Ball. And I've watched so many different animes that it's hard to give it as much credit as it's got now. And Toriyama, he's turned around and he's kind of... he reminds me of George Lucas. He turned around, he made a good anime, turned around and botched it up. All right, Gohan. He's not popular in Japan, but truth be told, if you really listen to his articles or anything like that, it sounds more like he didn't really care about having Gohan replace his father. So he turned around and made Gohan into the next Ginyu Force. Okay, that was a good decision there. Future Gohan was a badass. You saw in Trunks. You're like, okay, yeah, you see him growing up, and he's gonna be this real big badass. And all of a sudden, he's like, I'm a timid nerd, and I like to do poses like a fag. Okay, that's...
Yeah.
Yeah, I went a little overboard there, but I didn't like how he did Gohan. I didn't like how he just said, oh, okay, yeah, I the reason why the tails are not there is I so happened to have forgot. You could have just said, well, I had their tails cut off at birth. There, solution found. But instead, you kind of retcon everything.
On my side, I usually just watch anime for usually it's gonna be harem or kame, Konosuba. But I mostly watch harem because first of all, they mostly have the best stories. Because some of the anime they will just go on and it's Naruto has way too many fillers and it's fucking stupid. And you take a look at My Hero Academia, it's fucking beautiful, and there's already 3 seasons by now.
Yeah. Speaking of Konosuba, apparently they've been announced that they're going to be making season 3, which I'm looking forward to that.
Oh fuck.
I hope they also make a spin-off series of Megamine. That would be wicked good to see.
Yeah. Also, I want to see that. Oh my fucking god. Also, there's rumors that there might be a season 5 for HighSchool DxD.
That's a possibility. I would love to see HighSchool DxD continue on. I just really hope they don't. I can't say that I really hope. I just really hope that I can get my game out there fast enough to go ahead and say, hey, I'll give you here's this game to help your thing out. Can you go back to the original artwork from season 1 to 3 because this other artwork sucks.
Yeah, also just go back to that. Just go do your thing like the good.
I know that he would probably get offended for me to say, because I would straight out tell him that. I'm not even joking. I would if he turn around and goes, oh, what you think about the new anime HighSchool DxD Heroes? I'm like, oh, I love the story, but the fucking art sucks.
Yeah. But I mean, the art is okay, I guess, but it's just I prefer way more like the season 1 to 3.
Yeah.
Also, the songs were like it would fit perfectly with it. Now I just like at season 4, it's like we barely hear any of the official soundtrack of HighSchool DxD.
Yeah.
It's like I'm kind of sad about that.
A lot of people are wondering I'm taking the soundtrack for the video game. I'm actually mixing my own blend with the actual from the show as well.
Oh, good.
Because I'll be taking like a lot of the music you find from HighSchool DxD. You'll find. Oh, hang on. Venture Day, the title, Final Fantasy. Yeah, that's because I did it on PlayStation. I'll be changing the title of the game after the live stream's done. Because the live stream will stay in the video on YouTube after it's done. So no worries about that. I'll have it changed. But anyway, what I was saying about the music is I'm going to be putting a lot of the music from the anime in there, and then I'm going to customize my own music for games that I thought would be more game friendly, and also you already seen I customized the music for the romance portion of the game.
Oh, that's gonna be good.
Yeah, I already have a customized song for Konokone. I had a customized song made for Leviathan. Each song cost me $360 to have developed, and an additional to put on iTunes.
Alright.
So,
is it also on the, can you find on YouTube or like the Google Play Store?
the music I have, you can find them in Google Play Store, Amazon, and iTunes. There's several different stores you can find them on, but they're the ones I mainly know about. Plus, you'll see me, I'll put the music on a lot of the videos I upload and edit.
They told you they're taking you home. They brought you right here.
Sorry about that. It's family.
No, it's fine.
Boy, they pulled your leg.
Anyway, shit, I lost track where I was saying. Oh yeah, something about the music. Yeah, I'm developing a romance song for each of the female, each and every one of the single female characters that are on there, because they're all romanceable. And then I'm going to be making battle songs. Like there's one song I'm going to make for Juggernaut Drive. It's going to start off with, you know how Issei first started off and all these voices start coming out?
Yeah.
I wanted to start off like that and then go into something similar to One Wing Angel.
Okay.
The metal version.
Oh, that's going to sound nice. Can't wait for that. Because whenever it's about like anime plus plus metal, It's just the best fucking thing. Like, it mixes well together.
And you'll find a lot of inspired music in there. And there'll be a lot of HighSchool DxD like music that's pretty much ultra versions of this of their already anime music into the game to make it sound more like a music that belongs into a game.
Right.
Alright, so you got any more questions for me when it comes to the game?
In terms of questions, I'm out, honestly.
Alright, it seems like no one else has any questions. I got one person saying, I see. I will mention other anime that you were talking about that are good. You said harem anime, but I'm starting to go more towards like the comical ones, like you're saying Konosuba and Psyche. You know, they came out with a season 2 for Psyche as well, if you ever watched that.
No, well, personally, like, I've been, like, coming down a bit on anime because sometimes I have stuff to do.
Mm-hmm.
But whenever I have time, I'm trying to, like, find, like, actual good anime, comedy, and harem.
Oh, well.
But sometimes it's just lacking.
If you want anime to be recommended to you, I would recommend Psyche. I would recommend School Rumble if you haven't watched it.
Okay.
Another one is a lot like HighSchool DxD, Rosary plus Vampire. However, I don't recommend you. I recommend the manga, not the anime. The anime is good like that, but the manga, they cut out so much from the manga, it's unreal.
Okay.
Tokyo Ghoul, if you're more into action. Of course.
I never understood why people like Tokyo Ghoul.
The manga is good. I will say that. The anime has it started off good, but it kind of, and this is due to cutting. It had to be budget cut because they're trying to push so much into it per anime episode, and instead, so they pretty much cut out a lot of detail that would have made the anime a lot better and more understandable. So a lot of animes, if they come out bad, go read the manga. You'll find out that it wasn't meant to be that bad. But then again, for some strange reason, they think it's a bright episode of anime just to advertise a novel, considering the novel, a lot of people don't prefer to read. Like, that's like a dying profession.
Yeah, usually, yeah. Most of people prefer to, like, just watch, but someone that likes visual and, like, just reading.
So be a bit more quiet, buddy. Yeah, I'm one of those people. I prefer to watch. Alright, well, my family are bringing in food and everything, so that's kind of distracting. So I'm going to end the chat now.
Alright.
Alright.
Well, it was nice to talk to you, my friend.
It was nice having you.
I can't wait to actually play beta for HighSchool DxD, and then I'll give you some feedback when I'll start playing it.
Yeah, speaking about the beta, as soon as I can get beta 0.1 out there, you guys will love that, because I'm trying to get actual gameplay in there where you can fight. So, look forward to that. Alright.
Anyways, see ya, and maybe I'll see you.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
I'm always willing to
It's all mine.
take back gas.
I'm going to feed him to the horse.
No, I don't think so.